wanted to look at something amazing, and I would say highly prophetic and encouraging. Now, I gave you a bunch of bad news, right? You got some bad news? Let's have some awesome news that's coming out right now. I'd like you to, I'm going to read some prophecies, and I'll read them incomplete because these are really detailed, and they appear to be happening right in front of our eyes today. This is from Bob Jones. It's called The Gulliver Prophecy. He gave it in 2005. We got it off of his website, bobjones.org, but we remembered a part of it, or most of it. Prophet Bob Jones had a prophetic encounter where in a vision he saw a large man who in the past had fallen asleep. He was lying on his back, half covered in dirt, and his name was Gulliver. Little people from a place of little input had completely tied him down, and he was waking up from being asleep for the past 38 years. So you have him tied down. If you know the story of Gulliver, there is little people that were 6 inches high that lived in Lilliput, and little input. He says here, a little play on words. We can also call him Gulliver, the body of Christ. Bob saw that his head of this very large man was in Cleveland, Ohio. So he sees him lying down like on a map of the world, and he sees his head lying in Cleveland, Ohio, in a place called Jacob's Field. His head is in Jacob's Field. The next thing Bob saw was a large center pole of a tent coming up out of Columbus, Ohio. So he sees like a center pole you would have in a great big circus tent in Columbus, Ohio. This was his heart. This is where Gulliver's heart was. Powerful signs and wonders will come up out of Columbus, greater than we've ever seen before, that will look like a canopy over the region. Explosions of miracles and healings will be the hallmark of this. He sees this in Columbus, Ohio. Then he says, Cincinnati was the place where the reproductive organs were. Reproducing of the kingdom will be evidenced here in priestly and kingly anointing in Cincinnati. Then he says the left hand of this large man was in Philadelphia, which had teaching and great love in it. The right hand extended west and came to rest in Indianapolis, Indiana. It began to flex, and the cords that were around it to keep it tied down were beginning to snap off like rubber bands. The left foot was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and there was a great television with it, so they televised the gospel all around the world. The right foot was in Nashville, Tennessee, where great faith was beginning to be raised up. This great man finally began to get up, breaking off all restraints and planting both of his feet in Atlanta, Georgia. God means to take Ohio, then move over to Indianapolis and up to Illinois, crossing over into the east and finally standing completely upright in Atlanta. The Lord told Bob that to take Atlanta would mean capturing the whole South.
Hallelujah.
The Lord is looking for the body of Christ to keep its head focused in the heavens above and its body fixed on the earth below, walking out of the kingdom, a mandate with all convincing demonstrations. We need to be reconnected with the head, Jesus Christ, so we can act out on the earth the strategy of heaven with all power and authority. Let us grow up in every way, spiritual maturity in all things, into him who is the head, even Christ. Hallelujah. Ephesians 4:15. As we, the body, must grow up in every way and stay connected to the head, which is Christ. So we have this happening, and I want you to see. I am an artist, and I want you to know what a great artist I am. And this is Gulliver. Here's Gulliver. His head's up here in Cleveland. His right hand's out here in Indianapolis. His left hand's out here in Philadelphia. Here's Nashville, one of the feet. Here's Charlotte, the other feet. And then here's Cincinnati's right in here somewhere. and Columbus is right here. So I drew him a little wrong. What happens is his body should be going more this direction to the left, and he should have his left hand up in the air a little bit. But anyhow, you can get the idea. He is covering this area. So what do we see first of all? Well, first of all, West Virginia right here is the area that is been having floods, but it's had a great outbreak of the Holy Spirit. Last week, the golf tournament was supposed to be in West Virginia, and it had to be canceled because there was flooding in the courses there, and all of that. So what we found was that the Spirit is beginning to move, and we heard the prophecies were saying, watch where the floods are, because that's where the Spirit is going to be poured out, where the major floods are. So then what do we notice? We notice that in Cleveland, the Republicans are meeting there. Right there, the Republicans are meeting in that the Cleveland and meeting. They're meeting directly across the street from Jacobs Field. They have the convention center is right next door to the baseball stadium, which for years was called Jacobs Field. So we have them meeting there. Then what do we have? We have Mike Pence being named the vice president nominee. And where's he from? He's from Indianapolis, Indiana. Right there. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana. And he's an evangelical Christian, and he's been named to be the vice president. And where do we have the Democrats meeting? They're meeting in Philadelphia over here.
Ken, it doesn't apply. How do you apply that, though, honey, with what they
Well,
say concerning teaching?
I'm just pointing it out.
Yes.
The Democrats are meeting over here, and then let's take a look at some more interesting things here. You turn the light on, please. Thank you. What happens is, what's interesting is when the giant wakes up, it's in Indianapolis, Indiana, where it begins to flex. The right hand begins to flex. He sees that happening. And the cords that were around it to keep it tied down were beginning to snap off like rubber bands. So we believe that great television is going to come to Charlotte, and Nashville is going to have great faith. And eventually this giant is going to stand up completely in Ohio. Did you notice that this giant had been asleep for 38 years? Do you know what that is? You back up 38 years and you come to 1978. 1978 was the year when the glory of God lifted off of the American church and Ichabod was written over it. So we have that happening. Then what happens? Then Bonnie sends out this just the other day. She says, this morning I saw the face of President William McKinley on the playing card Donald Trump held in his hand. She has a vision of Donald Trump playing cards. And here it is. She gets a little vision, and she sneaks. So this is a card that has William on it. What she saw was the face of William McKinley down here on the card. Here's Trump. He's got his cards in his hand. He's getting ready to play them, and he's got a picture of William McKinley on one of the cards. He's got that on that. He says, and she writes, I believe that victory is at hand for Donald Trump in the state of Ohio. Although the deck has been stacked against him, I believe Mr. Trump will be triumphant at the Republican convention later this month. I further believe that he will win the state of Ohio in November. It is a fact that no presidential candidate has ever won the White House without winning Ohio. Therefore, I believe the Lord was showing his card that will trump the devil's ace. Why William McKinley? Karl Rove recently released a book called The Triumph of William McKinley, Why the Election of 1896 Still Matters. His book takes a fresh look at President William McKinley from Ohio, whose 1896 campaign ended a bitter period of political gridlock and reformed and modernized his party, thereby creating a governing majority that dominated American politics for the next 36 years. The 1896 political environment resembles that of today, a rapidly changing electorate affected by a growing migrant population, an uncertain economy disrupted by new technologies, growing income inequality, and contentious issues the two parties could not resolve. McKinley found ways to address these challenges and win, which his campaign is so relevant to our politics now. Rove hails the way McKinley and his managers placed a premium on organization, applying business methods to politics, particularly to the task of persuasion and mobilization. In 1986, McKinley secured the Republican nomination for president during a deep economic depression and defeated his Democratic rival, William Jennings Bryan. I believe there are many similarities between President McKinley's campaign and Donald Trump's. William McKinley was up against a powerful man whose mere blood was politics. In the same way, Donald Trump is running against a political machine whose corrupt nature has infiltrated the Democratic Party's bloodline. Now there seems to be no remorse, and the ghost of Christmas past has captivated the very soul of its party. Power, wealth, and greed have replaced love, honor, and respect for the Constitution and the people it's meant to protect and serve. Mr. Trump's platform is to make America great again, and I believe that is the heartbeat of the Father. Trump is the dark horse coming from behind, a dark horse candidate or competitor about whom little is known, unexpectedly wins or succeeds. In the natural, it looks as if the deck is stacked against him, but Donald Trump has grit, and he's holding the card that will trump the devil's ace. Although it is frustrating to watch our government embrace hypocrisy, we must not lose our focus. And basically, he says, Bonnie writes here, the Republican National Convention would be held at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, directly across the street from Jacobs Field, currently known as Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Indians. I find it quite interesting that just last month, the Cavaliers beat the Golden State Warriors to end a 52-year championship drought in Cleveland and give the Cavs their first NBA title. During the award ceremony, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver exuberantly said, "The curse is over." I believe Commissioner Silver is correct. There has been a curse over Cleveland. It's now come to an end. Therefore, what the enemy means for evil, God is going to turn it up. And one of the things that's interesting is William McKinley was born in Niles, Ohio. He made his home in Canton, Ohio. Bonnie Jones is from Canton, Ohio. That's her birthplace, where she lived for 51 years. Has been an intercessor over that, and she believes that this is a prophetic fulfillment of what Bob has seen is what's being acted out right now. What we find out when we go to the Wikipedia and take a look at William McKinley, he was born in Ohio. He was elected Ohio's governor in 1891 and 1893, steering a martyred course between capital and labor interests. He was the 25th president of the United States. He ran on sound money and promised high tariffs. He put He put taxes on imports, high tariffs. It would restore prosperity and jobs to America. He went on to lead the nation in the Spanish-American War, which against Spain, which turned over, the United States got Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines and Cuba out of that particular war. So you see, William McKinley is being played. Yes.
So I was saying William McKinley was also shot and
Yeah.
encouraging us to pray for Trump's
right.
safety.
He was shot during his second term as president, about 6 months into it, and William McKinley may have been assassinated by the money managers because of what he had done. He said, what did he do? He kept the nation on the gold standard and reinstated the gold standard, and they wanted fiat currency. And with fiat currency, they create unlimited amounts of money. With a gold standard, they couldn't create unlimited amounts of money. And so, let's.
Ken,
Yes.
a couple of things concerning Ohio. Could I just mention the
Yes.
state motto of Ohio?
Yeah. Get up. Come up here.
Oh, okay. And Dee Dee's dream. Could I share that to a second? The state motto, the motto for that state is, with God all things are possible. So I just feel these are matters, we just don't listen, we have to pray into them. And then Dee Dee had a dream about Dee Dee Phillips about 3 weeks ago, where she saw, and I'm tying this into the convention and what's happening there, a large room, and there were these animals, creatures in there, like tigers and lions and jaguars and bears, and they were snarling, and nothing was peaceful. It was like they were at each other. But then she looked out of the window and she sees this massive elephant leading the way out, and all these animals, they're just going out, falling into line behind the elephant. So I just felt a very encouraging prophetic word, because I do believe Donald Trump finds solutions to things.
Yeah. So
You'll bring them
we have these things going on right now, and we're watching them very carefully. I would be interested in seeing who that left hand is. The Democrats are meeting in Philadelphia, but is there somebody, for instance, was Newt Gingrich, is he from Philadelphia? Who's from Philadelphia? Philadelphia is the founding of our nation was in Philadelphia. That's where the nation was founded. That's where the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence was written. All of that. Think about that. What does Philadelphia represent along that line? But basically, here is our 25th president. He looks a little stern. It's kind of like the pictures, but he appeared to be a really good man.
He was loud.
And basically, here's some of the strategies that he implemented, which are the same strategies that Trump is talking about. He raised the protective tariffs to promote American goods. He protected through tariffs. He maintained the U.S. on the gold standard, and he campaigned under sound money. He wanted sound money. He took on the elite of the Republican Party. He really fought against the elite, just exactly what Trump has been doing over the Republican Party. Then he reached out to Catholics and diverse ethnic groups, and he advocated for black voting rights back at that time. That's what he did. Why? He knew he needed to build a party that was bigger. He needed to build a bigger party, so he did that. And his slogan for his campaign was "The people against the bosses." He was against the elite. So, the people against the bosses. That's a slogan that could have come out of Occupy Wall Street, or it could have come out of Bernie Sanders. Right. Bernie Sanders is the people against the bosses. So what happens is this is what's happening with this, and I just really feel that God is on this. And then I wanted to go to this word on Ichabod. and that Bob Jones had had. And I'll just read a couple of paragraphs here from what Bonnie had written on it back in March of this year. Her first thing, she had a revelation called "No Baggage Allowed." She says, "I saw a silver elevator, and it was sanctified unto the Lord. There were no down buttons in the elevator. This elevator only went up. Posted above the elevator was a sign that read, 'No baggage allowed.' That was the only requirement to enter. Everyone was welcome. However, you had to leave all your baggage behind. You were not permitted to bring anything with you from the past that would hinder the new move of God. Everyone came naked and unashamed. They had laid it all down for the Lord. Each one was totally abandoned unto Him. He was indeed their first love. You see, we can't advance into the new move of God with the old baggage." And then I just went here and she's, I'll just read this concerning Ichabod. Ichabod was a word that Bob Jones saw written over the church. She says, she was in this meeting, she says, "As the meeting continued, I began sharing that in the late 70s, the Lord told Bob that He was removing His glory. One of the ministers in attendance remembered the exact date Bob received that word. It was March 11th, 1977, when the Lord told Bob that He was removing His glory and writing Ichabod over the church. The Lord said, 'My glory is not for sale.'
That's right.
Man has taken it and marketed it for himself, and God said, 'I will not share my glory with anyone else.' Bob told the Lord, 'Take me home, Lord, because I don't want to live down here without it.' Bob added that once you've tasted it, it ruins you for anything less." She says, "I believe we are still in a period of grace until March 11, 2017, which will mark 40 years since God removed His glory. Ichabod means the glory has departed, and God wrote this over His church in 1977. And she said, the glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured, 1 Samuel 4:22. And so what I see happening is her word for 40 years, and this word for the giant has been asleep for 38 years, that it is a time when the glory of God is coming back to the church, that the glory of God is beginning to be stirred through this convention that's going on, both the Republican and the Democratic thing, and we see the right hand with Mike Pence coming forth, and it's happening in the state of Ohio, and it's including Indianapolis, and there are several what they call battleground states, including North Carolina, as a part of this whole thing. This whole thing that's going on right now, what God is doing in raising up the Gulliver giant, which is really the church. You think it's the church, but what's it doing with politics? It's got something to do with politics. It's got something to do with politicians to bring these things about. So what we're looking for is we're pray into this thing. Pray into it. Pray over it. Pray for them that things will work out. In God's will be done. What we've heard as the first major plank they have put in the platform, the Republicans, is total support for Israel. That just encouraged me so much when I saw they had total support for Israel. The Never Trump campaign has been defeated. They don't have any votes. They're not going to be able to do anything, take any votes or anything. And some Never Trump people who are delegates have got disbarred from the convention, got their credentials lifted. So through other means. So those things are beginning to happen. So I wanted you to take a look at that and pray over it, because for me, and these are all long prophetic words, this is the fulfillment of our prayers. And could anybody have seen something so clear as this, something so clearly as this, that Bob saw in 2005? Hi everyone, this is Ken Story. I'd like to take a minute or two to tell you about what our business and ministry is, Investing with Insight. What you are looking at is our website on Facebook. We post here frequently. We have videos and all kinds of interesting articles, prophetic revelation. Let's go over here and take a look at our investingwithinsight.com website. This is where we post a lot of our information. A lot of dreams and revelations are posted here with people, for people. We see what the Lord is saying, and we see how we might be able to invest and protect our families and our businesses at this time. Let's go over here to our, this is our website that we run on Kajabi. This is for our paying members only. And we have, here we post all of our videos, all of our special reports. We have resources and watch lists and special reports. We have our meetings, we have prophetic revelation, we have our top picks of our top stocks, our penny stocks, this kind of thing that the Lord has shown us. And I want you to get an idea, because as a member you'll get you'll have a part of this. Let's go over here. Let's say you joined us. Well, every Saturday morning we have a presentation online. We broadcast online. You can see here we got 2 days and 19 hours to go here before we do our next one. And we have a chat area over here on the right. You can see where people can chat and they can talk back and forth about what's going on, be a part of the community. We have people around the world on several different continents that are all a part of this on Saturday mornings. Then what happens is we also have people who are traders. And so every week I provide, every day I provide a stock list of where you can invest based on where the market is for this particular day, based on our prophetic stocks. As you can see right here, I'm shorting the market. The DUG, I'm shorting energy. The VIXI, this is, I'm saying that there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market, so the VIX will go up. I'm still in Apple. I'm shorting China. I'm going long U.S. Treasuries. I'm shorting gold, silver here, and I'm shorting gold mining companies here. So you can kind of see how we're doing. Right now we're averaging about 66% APR, and we've been doing this for 631 days. So you can kind of trading days. Over here we'll take a look at some of our other resources that we have that would be available to you. We have watch lists, special reports, recommended tools and services, how to invest. We have training classes, 16 basic training class, plus we have an archive of all of our past resources. There's a forum that goes along with it as well. And then over here, like to show you, we have our tweets. Every day we have tweets going out. We tweet out our daily trading, plus all my trades are tweeted out, plus any important articles or important prophetic revelation that's coming out, we tweet that out to everyone. And so, for instance, if you would like to join up with us, what we have here is you just basically go to the store and you can click on becoming a member. And we have it's normally $407 a year for an annual membership, and you get essentially weekly meetings. We do skip once in a while. You can do $47 monthly membership or a $407 annual membership, and we have specials that we're running from time to time, and you can take a look at those specials. So basically that's what we are, that's who we are, and it's been great talking to you, and we bless you. Hope you will join our prophetic investing community.